Welcome back to the Overcomfort Podcast. I am your host, Jenicka Lopez. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I have a pretty cool guest that everybody has been requesting. They've been DMing me. They have been tagging me. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. We have Miriam Lopez.
Hi.
You have the same last name as me. That's kind of cool. Love that. How are you?
I'm good. Super hot.
Super hot.
Super hot. It's way too hot here.
You're nervous.
And very nervous. Super nervous too.
Nervous. Okay. Yes. So a bunch of people were tagging me. Yes. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. You know, I thought you were in LA. I was like, you know what? Let's fly you out. Let's get you here. Obviously, I've joined your lives on TikTok. Mm-hmm. You have almost 500K on TikTok, right?
Yeah. Kind of.
We're getting there. You're growing. You're doing your thing. You have a passion for music.
I do.
And along with other things that I would love to get to know you and talk about with you. Mm-hmm. And see what you're all about because one, you have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
I would love to hear you sing, but due to, copyright purposes and all that, they just, if you guys want to see her sing, go. What's the TikTok? Miriam
_Izzle.
Izzle, yes. Okay. If you guys want, maybe later on, maybe if, we'll figure it out.
We'll see something.
We'll see. We'll make a clip on it or something. No, but I'm really excited to get to know you, to get to know more about you, how you grew up. Tell me all the good things about you. Good and bad things. I want to know.
What can I start with? Well, I started TikTok literally, I want to say a year, like the same year that I got fired from my job.
Okay.
And
How'd you get fired? Sorry. I'd like to know.
You know how me, I didn't do anything, but you know how you're not supposed to stop shoplifters.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So apparently, from my understanding, from their camera angle, it looked like I was stopping the shoplifter.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't doing anything. I mean, I know that you can't really stop people. But yeah, employees get fired if they even try to stop someone from.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they get fired if they try stopping someone from stealing. At all.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense. I personally think HR had it out for me, but it is what it is. It was a blessing in disguise because I have two friends that are pretty big on TikTok. They cut hair and they were hearing me sing and they're like, "How come you've never posted a singing video on TikTok?" And I was like, "I have." And they flop. And so they're like, no, you got to keep going. Be consistent. The first video is not going to do good. The second video is not going to do great. And I did. I actually posted an Ana Gabriel cover. Mm-hmm. And that's the one that kind of took off. And after that, it was, sing Ana Gabriel, sing Rocío Dúrcal, sing Selena, sing Jenny. And so that's how I started to build my platform, was just by doing song covers. And now I'm kind of switching it up, just showing a little bit more of my personality, showing a little bit more of me. And I recently also just lost my mom too. And so I'm kind of talking a lot about grief because it's a part of my life that I'm currently going through as well. Okay. But yeah, that's how I started. I've always wanted to do videos. And so I saw it as a blessing in disguise because I didn't want to put myself in a corporate job again. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, I had worked at a coffee shop for 7 years. Yeah. They disposed of me so easily, so quickly. And then I went to retail. Mm-hmm. Same thing. And I just kind of was tired of giving my all to these places when I could do more than that. And so here I am on TikTok, and it's gotten me really cool opportunities. This one right now, I'm trying to play it cool, but I'm actually really excited. Really? I think that's why I was sweating.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. And I agree. Sometimes corporate is not meant for a lot of people, and you have a lot of potential outside. You have passion, you have ideas, you have talent, like many other people in the world. It takes a lot of balls and guts,
Yeah.
Pardon my, I don't care, but whatever. Anyways, it takes a lot to leave that and to be dependent and figure out your life after. You're taking a risk. Yep. Has it been scary though?
It has been. It has been because believe it or not, it sounds really funny, but I took me getting fired really hard because I have given my all to like jobs. I am a people person. I love making connections with regulars. Some regular customers from the coffee shop I'm still friends with. You know, I've seen some of their kids grow up and stuff, and I don't know. It felt very harsh to be let go. Like I was so disposable.
You took it really personal.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I need to take some time off and figure out what I want to do. Like, what do I want to do? I can obviously give my all to these companies. Why can't I do that for myself? And so I started posting videos and
betting on yourself.
Yeah, and I got in cool opportunities. I performed in San Antonio Fiesta, which is a huge festival in San Antonio, and I had an amazing time. It was incredible. Biggest crowd I've ever sang in front of, and just any opportunities like that, I tend to take them just because I don't feel like they're gonna come again.
Yeah.
And that's honestly why I'm here today too, because I've been wanting an opportunity like this, and if I don't take them, then you know I don't feel like they're gonna come again. So
well, I'm so happy to give you the platform and to be able to. I don't know. For me, more importantly, it's like to have a conversation and to get to know you, and to know the person behind the voice, because I think people take that for granted and they don't understand it. And you really betting on yourself has gotten you here. And I'm not saying I'm like the biggest like podcast or whatever, because girl, you're gonna go way farther than this. No.
I actually like it's so insane because I feel like I've been so connected to your family in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Jackie, your sister, is incredible. She's the first person to ever go live with me.
Yes.
I gave an idea to Chiquis. I never in my life would have thought that she was going to see my video, and she saw it.
It's the one, the how she should start the concert one.
Yes, that one. And that's when you came on my live, and I was like, no, this is insane. There's no way. Your brother Johnny is super sweet, and super shout out to him también. When everything was happening with my mom también, he reached out to me, and I just think you guys are so sweet.
Thank you.
And I have nothing but good things to say about you guys, just because you guys are always so sweet to me and so kind.
Thank you. All right, you guys, we're gonna go on a quick break and we'll be right back with Miriam. Welcome back, you guys. That you are married.
Yes.
So tell me about, obviously you're coming out and the journey, obviously being in a Hispanic household. I feel like I don't know that, and everybody's different, and it's very relatable to a lot of people. So what was the journey like for you?
It was really hard.
Yeah.
It was super hard. My mom was Jehovah's Witness, and so and so it was really hard. Going through high school for one, and trying to understand who I was, because I just couldn't. I won't lie, I think this is the first time saying it. I had boyfriends, but wasn't comfortable. And I started liking this girl in math class, and more than a friend. And eventually, you know, I started to not care. And I think that was where I messed up personally, just because I was just thinking about myself. And I feel like you should think about yourself. But unfortunately, if you don't have a plan, you don't know how your family can react.
For sure.
And unfortunately, my mom took it really rough. It was really hard for her, because I think in any household, your parents expect so much from you. They have this life planned out for you that you don't even know if you want that. You don't even know if like that's what you want to do in your future, or that's who you want. Yeah. And I couldn't. And I just couldn't do that to myself. I wanted to be myself, and I did write all my family letters.
Okay.
Because I couldn't see them in the face, not because I didn't want to, I just didn't want to feel like I disappointed them, because it's not something to be disappointed about. You're just, you know, like, I mean, you like that person, and I don't like them for you, but you know, that makes you happy. It is what it is. And it was really hard for some of my siblings. Luckily, I had my brother at the time, and he was just like, hey, it's not going to be easy, so just come and move in with me. Yeah. And my brother took me in. And I just kind of, I think, I want to say it was junior year and going into senior year, or right at senior year is when I came out.
Okay.
And so I wasn't living with my mom by then. Yeah. And it was really hard because I loved my mom.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it was really, oh my God, it was really hard feeling like you were letting her down, because it's so hard to make people understand that, like, if this is really what we wanted, like, we wanted to be left out, or we wanted to feel like we were disappointing people, this would not be the first choice that we would do. You know, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to be straight just to make everyone else happy.
You can't do that.
Yeah. And I couldn't. So, it's been a long journey, and it was still a long journey. Yeah. Now it's good because, I actually have a niece who's also, part of the community.
Okay.
And even she said it myself that she's made this so much, that I've made this so much easier for her, that, you know, because me, she's able to kind of be herself more, bring her girlfriends over, and just not have to go through what I had to go through. It wasn't super, super hard, but it was still something very difficult. Sure. It definitely strained the relationship with my mom and I a lot. And actually, even prior, because you had asked about my mom, prior to my mom passing, like, she didn't go to my wedding, and I took it so hard. And that's where I had to create boundaries, where it kind of hurt me to have her in my life. Because I always kept feeling like I was letting her down, but thankfully we were able to kind of mend things before, you know, she passed over that.
I hear you when you say that you don't want to be a disappointment to people, because I'm a people pleaser, and I hated disappointing people as well. Like, for example, when it came with me in my relationship with my mom, I never wanted to do any of the things that my sisters did. Like, they were bad, you know, my siblings, like, they were bad. So I made it my point and my goal in life to make sure I never got in trouble. I never got hit. I didn't want to get yelled at. If mom said this, I did this. And that flowed into my relationships, even to this day. And it's toxic. And I'm not blaming it on her. I'm not, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of mental thing. And it's a lot of the pressure. Like, your mom wanted a certain way for you, right? But what about, it just doesn't make sense if Miriam doesn't want it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I think there comes a point where you got to start letting it go. Like, the expectations of people in general. Yeah. Like, I'm not necessarily saying your mom, or saying like, you know, it could be any person. Yeah. Jobs. Yep. You know, you expected them to take care of you, or like you were disposed or whatever. But realistically, corporate doesn't give a fuck. Yep. You know, your mom wants this life for you, but what are you going to do for yourself? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and that's the point where you have to, like, envision your life. You have to be confident in what you're doing. You have to be sure, like, you know what, like, I'm going to stand by this. I'm going to get married to this girl. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to live my life happy, you know? And it obviously, and I think it's harder because it's your mom. Oh my, what about your dad?
I actually don't have a relationship with him. He was consistently, like, in and out of my life. And there just came a point to where, at least for my own heart, because I'm super freaking sensitive, I take things very personally, and I take them to heart. And so I just kind of was so tired of being disappointed by him, and just kind of expecting him to want to fully be there for me. And I couldn't deal with that anymore. I felt like the only time he wanted to come around was, oh, I have a new girlfriend, or me voy a casar, and I really want you there. And it was always like promises that he could never keep. And I just couldn't do that anymore. I just was like, you know what? Pienso que hasta aquí. Like, I wanted to have a relationship with you. Like, it sounds so silly, but all I even wanted was from him to, like, let's go get an ice cream together. Like, literally the smallest thing could have changed everything. Could have changed everything. Like, it was siempre with, you know, he would come with his new girlfriend and all their freaking kids, and I couldn't call him dad. I couldn't. It was crazy for me.
It's toxic.
Yeah, and my mom would see it. My mom she was supportive on like me wanting to have a relationship with him. She never talked bad about him.
Right.
And there was a point too where she was like, she doesn't want to go with you. She doesn't want to go, and I'm not going to force her to go. And I appreciated that from my mom, like just kind of sticking up for me, where if I wasn't comfortable, if I didn't feel like happy going, there was just no point in me going.
No.
So
that was for the better of your own mental health. How many siblings do you have?
I have 3 brothers, 3 sisters, and 2 brothers.
Oh my God.
And they're all older than me. I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
I am the baby.
Oh, how sweet.
I'm the la más chiquitita.
Maybe, and that's probably why your mom was harder on you, maybe.
Yeah. And I also came 8 years later.
What? Oh, so you have a huge age gap.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with them?
We're all good. Okay. My oldest sister, she lives out of state. She's always been the one that's like furthest apart from all of us. My older brother is just very like strong, like you know, super private. Mm-hmm. My other sister lives in Seattle, and she's good. I'm really close to one of my sisters and my younger brother. So
how was that after coming out? Because you said that they stopped talking to you and stuff.
They just took it really hard. Okay. Like they were just like, I need some time to process. Let me think about it. And I was just more like, I'm not doing anything bad. Literally not doing anything bad.
And
you know.
Nowhere are you asking for their approval?
Yeah. No.
It was just
exactly.
like, hey, letting you know, right?
It was just like, I think that's so crazy to think about, that you are so scared to just be like, I like girls.
Yeah.
And it be like a huge problem. Like, oh, I can't believe it. And like, I had all these dreams for you. And like, you had those dreams for me. I had different ones because you never asked me about mine at all. So it was a hard journey, but they love my wife. Yeah. My wife is incredible. Is that the one
that in high school?
No.
No?
No, thank goodness. Oh. Thank
like,
goodness that was not it.
No. How did you meet your wife?
At the coffee shop. Oh. Yeah.
Portland thing.
She would literally come in early mornings, and I would just be like, where are you going so early? Like, why are you up so early? And she was going on hikes. It took us forever to actually go on a hike together. But once we got a chance to go on a hike, I woke up late. So she was like, hey,
we're done.
Are you coming? Hey, do you want to go? And it was funny because she's like, honestly, I don't know what it was, because I never wait around for people. Like, I'm trying to get to the hike before the sun rises, because once you start hiking back down, it gets really hot.
Is that her or you saying that?
That's her.
So that she doesn't wait on people. Okay.
She does not wait on people. And I was like, okay. And it was funny because she takes me on this hike. We couldn't find it.
Shut up.
We couldn't find it. And I was like,
I woke up for this.
No, I was like, you Photoshop yourself in these pictures, don't you? Like, you don't even do the hikes. So we met up for the second hike. Never talked smack again, because she took me to this hike that's called Spirit Falls.
Took your spirit away or what?
It was all incline on the way back. It was embarrassing. I was like huffing and puffing, and I was like, that was so easy. That was easy.
You get home.
Oh my gosh, it was insane. But yeah, after that, like, you know, we started hanging out more, and eventually I was just like, this is who I want to marry. And we got married, and we're going in November. It's going to be 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, okay, how was your relationship with your mom during that time? Because then you said that she didn't go to the wedding and all that. So
yeah.
What was that? Were you able to bring her around? You weren't able to kiss her, or?
I'm actually not very affectionate with my wife around people in general. We'll hold hands. We're very, I think it's more like in private, but I feel like no one's ever made us feel like we had to be private. I'm just very private. Yeah. You know? But with my mom she was very difficult. She liked my wife, but I didn't feel like she wanted to get to know her more, just because I feel like maybe she's afraid to like her, you know, and like show like get un poquito de approval.
Yeah.
And I know, oh my God, I'm going to cry again. Soy bien llorona. When my mom passed, she was able to talk to my wife and be like, I know that she's going to be okay because you're going to take care of her. But towards the end, we were taking my mom to her appointments. Because when I called my mom, hey, mom, me voy a casar. No, no te vas a casar. I am, mom. Like, and I really want you there. Because she was diagnosed with cancer. Okay. And it was a rare type of cancer that, whether she did chemo, whether she didn't, it was not going to be cured. Right. And it was a maximum of like 3 to 5 years. Okay. And we were fortunate enough to have her for 3. Okay. And it hurt me. And some of the things that we said to each other on that phone call, it sucks. Yeah. You know, like she said certain things to me. I said certain things to her. But one thing that I kept telling her was like, Mom, you don't have to walk me down the aisle. You don't have to make a big old scene. I'm her mom and I'm here. Like, I just want you to like sit there. Like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to say hi to anyone. I just want you present.
Was it like was it embarrassing to her or?
I just think that maybe I could be saying it wrong. Okay. I hope don't come for me for this, but Jehovah's Witness, like they can't show any sort of approval towards something that's considered like a sin. And so she's like, you already know how I feel about that. You know that it's against, you know, and I was like, okay, Mom, I was like, but and it sucked because I hated to throw it in her face where I was like, Mom, you have cancer. Can you please do this for me? Like, we have a videographer and it sucks when I think of our wedding video because Karen has sweet moments with her mom and I won't have those. Yeah. And I took it very hard. And I think the last thing I told my mom was on that phone call, and it's going to sound so harsh, but I told her, si no la busco, usted ya sabe por qué. Because it was hurtful for me. Like, this is the one thing I wanted from her. And it sucked. And we didn't talk for like over a year. And I try my best to not feel guilty for that year that we didn't talk. But I get a phone call from my sister, actually, one day, and she goes, I'm trying to respect your boundaries, but Mom is not doing good. Okay. So we go and see my mom. And I never, like, when I saw her, it wasn't my mom. Like, she looked so sad. She looked so sick. She looked like she was tired. She was super tired, and I had never seen her like that. My mom was so strong. And I post about this when I go and visit her resting place, that she was such a diva, like such a diva. No se tomaba sus pastillas, but her nails were always done. Her hair was always dyed. Like, she was always on top of what she shouldn't have been on top of, you know? And so it broke my heart to see her like that. And so we got to spend some time with her. And at that point, I think my mom didn't care either. And I didn't care either. If my mom would have passed and she would have never said, I'm sorry, I still would have been okay, which we did eventually. How we said it, we laughed about it. And I just said that we were cabezonas. We were like, we just felt like she felt like she was right. I felt like I was right. And I felt that it didn't matter seeing her in the place that she was at. And just hearing her say, like, I know that you're going to take care of my daughter. Like, it meant a lot. I know that I felt like that was her approval. Like,
that's all you needed. That's literally all you've been asking for, basically.
Yep, pretty much. It sucked that I had to be under those circumstances, you know. But we were able to build a relationship with her towards the end and, you know, take her to her appointments.
Your wife, too?
Yeah, same with my wife. My wife and I took her to one of the appointments that broke my heart because I felt my mom was going through so many medical changes. Her body was experiencing so many things, and our parents are so private. They don't want to let their own kids know anything, which parents don't do that. Yeah. Because we felt like my mom knew, and she didn't want to tell us.
Like she knew she had it a long time ago before?
We felt that well, at least personally for me, I don't know about my brothers and sisters.
Right.
I felt like my mom knew.
Okay.
I felt like my mom knew she had a certain amount of time.
Okay.
And she just didn't want to tell us.
Told her.
Yep. Because even at the hospital, she didn't act like she was sick. She was just like, oh, en cuanto me quiten esta máquina, me voy a ir al rancho. I'm gonna go to Mexico and I'm gonna do this. And she was strong till the very end. She went when she wanted to, and she went how she wanted to.
Yeah.
So
Cabezona right there.
Cabezona, bruh, cabezona and stubborn. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we were able to fix so many things that I felt like we needed to. I got to learn that, you know, all this time I gave credit to like my dad, because my dad used to sing, and my grandma from my dad's side sings. But my mom told me, like, she's like, a mí me gustaba mucho cantar. Pero allá tu papá, según él, era el único que cantaba mejor.
Did you ever hear her sing?
We sang, oh my God, we sang Amor Eterno together.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah, and I have it. I still can't watch the video, but my sister recorded it. She was talking in like third person. She was talking to my sister about me, even though I was in the room. And she was talking about like, mi hija Miriam le gustaba mucho Rocío Dúrcal. Ay, Rocío Dúrcal. Y una vez mi hija ya no podía cantar Amor Eterno. Y era el día que falleció Rocío. And we just shared that like moment where I was like, Mom, you didn't tell me you sang? Like, we could have sang songs together all this time. And she's like, pues tú sabías que me gustaba cantar. And yeah, I mean, she did. Like, I knew her moods by the type of music she would have. So
yeah, like you could tell, like, oh, she's pissed off today.
Yeah,
or she's really sad today.
I will say, if La Bota was playing, it was gonna be a good day. If La Bota was playing, it was gonna be a good day. Yeah.
And that'd be randomly, you're like, damn.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, she's gonna make some chilaquiles or something. I'm excited.
Aww.
Yeah. It was a really hard thing to go through, and I feel like I'm still kind of processing it.
Process.
And I won't lie, I was a little shocked when I got your message, because I have not been posting as often. Yeah. I feel like,
which is okay.
Yeah, it feels so, I don't know, it just feels wrong for me posting other things that don't
move on.
Yeah, it feels a little wrong.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels too wrong, and it feels undeserving, at least for me. I get that, and I'm gonna tell you something, as obviously someone in the same position or that understands what you're going through. You have to.
I know.
You have to, because it's gonna eat you alive.
Oh yeah.
But in that process, you gotta acknowledge and face the emotions. You can't put them. Do not put them away. Yeah. Do not. It'll haunt you in the back of your head for the rest of your life. I don't want to say the rest of your life. That's because I'm still alive, but those thoughts don't haunt me anymore. But you know what I mean? Like, the more you bottle it up, you start getting the anxiety. You start getting frustrated with life. You're like, what am I gonna do? Like, no. And then you have to get your head out of, what would my mom do? Or how would my mom want this? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know, do you feel guilt to this day? Like, what do you feel guilty about? Or if there's anything.
Well, right as soon as like everything happened, I did go into grief counseling, because I just felt like it was super important to me. Good. And my wife set everything up. She's like, okay, you just got to show up. And you don't have to. Okay. She's like, if you're ready, cool. If you're not, then we can try again later. Yeah. But my biggest thing was to not feel guilty for having my boundaries. Like, because that was something really hard for me. That's like, what I was gonna say. Had I not taken it too personal, knowing that she was never going to change, or like, if I also knew that she was so sick, why was I so so
start
stubborn.
gaslighting and manipulating yourself.
Yeah. And I know certain people might be like, yeah, what you did was like messed up, but it was more like, for me, I had just had enough at that point where I was like, Mom, can you at least just do this one thing? Like, just this one thing. And I know it's something hard, and I know it's probably asking for a lot, but I really want you there. And I know you like my wife. I know you like her. You just pushed yourself off so much. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of it had to do with her religion. Like, she pushed us so far away that I feel like it was super hard for her to ask for our help or ask for anything from us. And I mean, I only felt really guilty for a little bit about the year not talking to her. Yeah. Because I feel like I missed out on a lot. Yeah. And I could have spent more time with her. But it was really hard. I was just, had she called me and we could have talked it out, I told her, I was like, Mom, I cried for you like over a year. I cried for you, and I felt like I lost her and I grieved her before she passed. And then I had to grieve her again. So it was a fear of mine, and it came true, unfortunately. But even she said it. She's like, ya sé, yo te extrañaba mucho, and nunca nos hablamos, porque, pues, she said, lo aprendiste de alguien, which, she's like, fuimos bien cabezonas. You had to learn it from someone, which was just me. And I want to say that I am at peace with how she left, because she left with how she wanted to. Like I mentioned, she was una diva. Yeah. She was so afraid of, with cancer, like with losing her hair. She was afraid of doctors telling her, you're going to leave this day in particular. And even when they had told us, your mom only has 2 days, she lasted us 2 weeks because she went when she wanted to go. That's so scary. Yeah. She fought hard. Yeah. And even then, she was still stubborn. Yeah. But that's why I think I'm at peace with it, because she left when she wanted to go.
You think it would have been different if you didn't talk to her, for sure, right?
Definitely. Yeah. And that's why my sister, she actually talked to my wife and was like, this is what's going on. And I don't know how to tell her, because I want to respect her boundaries. And then I called my sister. She's like, I didn't want to tell you. Of course. But I had to, like.
No, yeah. All right, you guys, we're going to go on a quick break, and we'll be right back with Miriam. Welcome back, you guys. It reminds me a lot of my sister's story, Yeah. Where her and my mom didn't get to talk. And then my mom, you said exactly the same thing. She grieved her already then. Yeah. And then she grieved her again when she passed away. Yeah. But without saying a word, And I think that's what's harder, is that I love that God gave you that opportunity. Yeah. To redeem and to be able to talk to her and hear her and provide you and heal a part of you. Because you didn't go in thinking that she was going to approve or whatever. No, you were going as a daughter, like, to support her and be there and whatever. But that was just the extra gift. Yeah. Because that was given to you.
Because even then when my wife told me, she's like, I'm going to have to tell you, and it's not going to be easy. But I know you. She's like, I know you, and if I don't tell you, I know what it's going to do to you. I know how it's going to affect you. And so when she told me, I was like, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Mm-hmm. And when I went to go see her, my wife and my sister went with me. Yeah. And all I could do was just sit and cry, because I'm like, that is not my mom. Like, she was bad.
Pretty different.
She was bad, and it sucked. It sucked, and I felt like I didn't get to spend as much time with her, because I'm the youngest. Everyone else did, and
it's different. It was
she was only 65 too, so I felt like she was still pretty decently young, But
fuck those doctors, man. Fuck cancer.
Yeah.
I like, anytime I hear a story about cancer, I'm just like, I just feel like it's not, maybe that's just me. But do you have any, like, like, what is your grieving process like now? Do you have anger towards something? Or, like, what's like your biggest concern? Or like, what's in like,
I felt like for one, I felt like certain things didn't add up to me. And something that I do talk about on live, as soon as like this whole situation happened with my mom and I felt comfortable going back on live, I talk a lot to like the parents and las señoras, and because I know a lot of them watch me, where I'm like, just be truthful. It's gonna suck, it's gonna hurt, and please let your kids advocate for you, because I just feel like being a minority, like, you have to speak up for your parents. Certain things are not going to make sense. Certain things aren't going to add up. And
they're not in the right space either to make certain decisions.
And I felt that's how we were. Because even her doctor that she trusted so much, he never once came in and checked in on her.
Yeah.
Towards the end. But a lot of the people who took care of my mom towards then, they were really sweet. There's some that, you know, they saw us and they're like, I'm really sorry. She was so sweet. I'm so sorry for your loss. But I did have quite a bit of anger towards it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, did they not do enough for her? Was she just so far beyond like getting any sort of healing to where you're just like, pues ya, es otra persona más, and, you know, it is what it is? Because I felt that it just happened so quick out of nowhere. She was like super good, and then boom, in 6 months, all of a sudden, she passed. And a month prior to her passing, she had gone to the hospital, and she was there. And not once had they told us like, her cancer's spreading. We found this, we found that.
Like, there was a lot of blurred lines.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I don't know. Maybe that's just my trauma talking as well. But, like, because my dad had passed away in the hospital and, like, pneumonia, and I didn't get to talk to him. Like, I just feel like, yeah, they could. I don't want to put the blame all on doctors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there's only so much that they can do. But then I always feel like there's, like, a hidden agenda.
Yeah.
You know? Because, obviously, again, they make...
It's crazy you said that, because that was her main thing, was pneumonia.
Yeah.
It just kind of took over her body, and it made everything else weak. But even by then, her cancer was spreading. And so they were just like, it sounds so harsh how they said it to one of my sisters, was just like, failed kidneys nope, that looks like a body that's just ready to go. And I'm like, they told you like
I don't like that.
No. And I was like, okay, cool.
Like, it seems so insensitive.
Yeah.
And, like, which is their job. Like, to be more sensitive, to be there, to do the most that they can to comfort you or whatever.
Yeah, they
make it a worse experience.
There is some things that I still have like anger about. I felt like when my mom finally passed, it wasn't for me, maybe for them it was a lot longer, but for me it felt like 5 minutes until they came after, like, so do you guys have her funeral home ready? No. I'm like, we're still crying. Yes. We're still processing. Or still having all this hope, and then being like, so have you picked out what funeral home she's gonna go to? Like, no, because I don't want to think. I
get the chills, and it just like bothers me so much.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
It's like you're never prepared.
No.
Nothing's ever gonna prepare you for that moment. Ever in your life. Obviously, yes. Those things should be already like maybe planned, whatever. Not in that moment though. I feel like there's a time and a place for everything, and there's no rush. Like, your emotions have to go through so many process, like a huge process. Like, first she passed away. Oh, now I got to worry about the casket. Now I got to worry about what's going to happen with the house, let's say, or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like, so now you're here in this moment, sitting in a chair, and it's like all coming back again. And it's like, you think about one thing, and it's like you're processing that one. And then tomorrow you're going to be thinking about something else. And it's just like, it shouldn't have to be that way. No. You know?
And I don't know if maybe, hopefully it's not an insensitive question to ask, but for me, a few days before my mom passed, like I just woke up crying. I felt it in my chest, like something was just not right. And in one of the weeks that she was in the hospital, I had gone to another podcast and I was like, Mom, I'll be back in 3 days. I won't be long. And the doctors had told me, oh yeah, she's getting better. Her numbers are looking great. And I was like, cool, I can leave. I had a really good time with my friend Danny. I felt like I really needed those laughs. Yeah. But the day that I landed, I felt heavy. The day that I woke up, I just felt like my chest was just like something was so heavy. And all I could do was cry. And I was like, I need to go see my mom. I need to go see her like now.
You felt like it was a sign.
And it was that same day when they told us, like, it's not looking great. Okay. And we're going to have to start picking out where she's going to go. And I was like, where she's going to go? Like, where? Is she going to come home and they could take care of her there? Or they're like, no, like where her body's going to go.
And I'm sure it's harder because there's a lot of brothers and sisters involved, right?
Yes.
A lot of opinions, a lot of heated, I'm assuming, tension, just a lot of emotions. And it feels like you feel helpless.
And no one talks about that really, of the emotions that everyone is going through, especially when there's more kids involved. And sucks when your your parent doesn't leave anything clear for you.
Yep.
It was such a hard thing to go through where even for a little bit, I did have to distance myself from my brothers and sisters to be like, hey, none of all these things, they're not going to bring my mom back. Yep. And so I don't really care what happens. I'm all I care about is that she's in her resting place and she doesn't have to worry about anything and we're good.
Take that time for yourself.
And like when you guys figure out what you guys want to do, then we could talk. But I didn't really care for anything. But even with other friends that I've talked about that I've lost a parent, it becomes so bad sometimes. And I wish that it wouldn't be like that because it's already so hard losing someone.
Yeah.
And then having to worry about things that are not important, to be honest.
No, and I 1,000% agree. And I think couple things I can tell you is that death is always going to be a factor. It's always going to be there, and it can make or break a relationship. You know, people get divorced because of it. People break up, or people. No, I'm not saying you specifically, but your family. I'm saying relationships in general. Yeah, your relationship with your family. Like it could really, it might not ever be the same.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is, but everyone has. I think you have to understand. Everybody has to understand.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own healing process.
Definitely.
Mine was different with my siblings because I had already lost a dad. Then obviously, relationships with people, like you see life very differently. Like it's like nothing scares you.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna hurt you as bad as this. And I guess that's kind of like the good thing. And I always say this, it's like, these are the moments that are going to make you stronger.
Yeah.
And that are going to push you.
Yeah.
And that are going to lead you somewhere. And I know that it sounds bad because it took someone to pass away for this to happen.
Yep.
But I think that's the beautiful thing about God's plan. And that's, me personally, like God's plan does have a beautiful ending and a beautiful way of showing you that life isn't over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it feels like it's over.
Yeah.
Because it feels like you're never going to gain it back. And that you are just a lost soul. Like what am I going to do? And there's going to be moments where you wish you had her to see these things, and I could tell you so many things, but I think more importantly is take it day by day.
Definitely.
Take the grief. And I'm going to tell you, and it's going to sound harsh, and I say it to everybody, like I've told Omi, this pain is never going to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to live with you. Grief is a ongoing process. It's just a part of you now.
Yeah.
It's a part of who you are, and you're going to live with it. You're going to lead it. You're going to carry it, and move forward in your life.
Yeah. Because I had even seen a quote before that too, that people tend to struggle a lot more with grief because they try to be the person that they once were.
Yes.
But you're never going to be the same after that.
You're a whole new person right now.
So, yes. And so that's where I'm like, I get it. And I think definitely getting that counseling was very helpful. I definitely still think I'm going to need more for sure.
Course. Yeah.
Because there's still so much more to learn. There's still so much more to heal.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree. And I love that your wife did that for you.
Yeah, she's
really fast.
My mom was wrong for sure. I could tell you that she's gonna take care of me.
No,
so
but I think it's super important because I wish I did it sooner. You know, like I barely look. My mom passed away. It's gonna be 12 years ago. I barely feel like I forgave or let go. Like maybe a year or two ago. But it's different. Not different, but it's different because it's different, but it's not. And I think because I get the constant reminder, like every day and stuff, like people, posting and all that. And then there's birthdays and it's just different. But anyways, it is, it's super important. Like it is a process that keeps going and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it.
Yeah. I'm
grateful because I've learned to be very strong. I feel like if these things didn't happen to me, I would be very, very weak-minded. And wherever you're going or wherever you're meant to be in your life, this is preparing you for it.
Yeah.
And, musically or whatever you want to do in that era, like you're always going to keep her in the back of your head.
Yeah.
And remember, I don't know, take it as another opportunity singing for your mom or with your mom. Yeah. You know what I mean? But on a lighter note, music-wise, what is your plan? What do you want to do? What's the goal or what's the, I know it's like, you're getting into it. Like, what are you feeling?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. I personally, it's because, I come from Oregon. And I know that there's quite a bit of grupos out in Oregon or bandas. But I feel, this is just from my personal experience because people come at me for this all the time. I feel like it's still so hard for me to be accepted in it. I don't dress girly. I don't dress typical. I have like under these long sleeves, I have like tattoos and I have certain piercings. And it's just, you wouldn't look at me and be like, she can't sing banda. She can't sing mariachi.
And then she's like, let me show you that I can.
And so I'm still trying to figure out how I can get myself into the music. I love doing covers. I've sang, for events. I've sang for some like jaripeos, like just opening. And I would love to record eventually. Like, I think that's one of my biggest dreams is to finally record some music, whether it be like a cover album or something in general that I can give to like my supporters who love, there's times where I'm on live for 2 hours just singing to them and trying to complacerles las canciones que quieren. And I don't know, I that's always been a dream of mine to sing and to do something like that. And so I would love to do that.
I feel like it would be cool if you were part of like, if you led, I don't know, I feel like I see you in mariachi, but I feel like because I've heard your voice in that and I love it. Like it's so, like you have the perfect voice for that. So what if like there was like a group, like a mariachi group, like Who Owe Me Las Divas, but what if Mariachi Las Divas? Yeah. Like that. But obviously you could dress in whatever you could, but what if it was part of like the LGBT community?
There is actually. Have you heard of Mariachi Arcoiris?
Have you?
No. Mariachi Arcoiris is actually, I love their name because it's so creative. Mariachi Arcoiris, but it's all just LGBTQ members.
Like, why don't you do that? There's no like.
They're all out here. So I'm telling you, Oregon, I love you, Oregon. I love you so much. I'm repping you guys. But it's hard. There's like 2 mariachis out there. It's all like more old school. And so I've sang with certain mariachis. Like, tienes buena voz. and then that's it, you know. And it's like, you know, if you need a member, let me know. But I know that there's definitely more opportunities out here.
Yeah,
for sure. Because I believe one of the members from Mariachi Las Divas followed me too, and she's like, let me know when you're out here. And one from Mariachi Arcoiris too. And I even think like an all-female mariachi is like pretty cool.
I think, that's
badass. Just anything that involves women and like just kind of taking over a little bit is just so exciting for me, because I think it's really cool.
I feel like I could see her at like Disney Pride Month mariachis right there and all that stuff. That'd be so dope.
I've never been to Disney, so I would love to experience. Yeah, I've never been. I went to Universal Studios and it was okay.
It
was okay. I get like very motion sick, and it was all virtual stuff.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
And so it's just like, if I'm gonna get motion sickness, can it actually be like an actual ride, please? So
I feel like that's like a one. Yeah, no, I don't. I like it. So, yeah, I agree. But yeah, I definitely see you doing something like that, and obviously bigger, you know. Yeah. But right now, I could see you like, I don't know. I feel like if you were in some type of grupo or you made something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like it could do really good. Like with your voice, like you have the type of voice that I would hire mariachi just for the fuck of it to get drunk. And and like, you know what? Like you would be booked out all the time. You would fucking be expensive as shit.
Because honestly, like some of my biggest inspirations growing up, it started with Rocio.
Okay.
I heard Amor Eterno, and there was just something Amor Eterno that I was like, dude.
It gets you.
Right? And I was just like, but she sings so good.
Really quick, is it different now that you sing it or hear it?
I can't even sing it right now.
I agree.
I can't even sing it right now.
Okay.
To be honest, because people will ask me for it, and they'll be like, she can't sing it, guys. Not right now. Eventually one day I will. Yeah. But no, like it started with Rocio, then Ana Gabriel, because the rasp in her voice. But performance-wise, not just because it's you, but your mom, dude. Like, your mom was just so, like, with all due respect, era bien desmadrosa. She, like, loved doing whatever she wanted to do. And, like, I actually quote a lot of her sayings.
Aww.
Just because I'm like, dude, what would Jenny do? Like, honestly, like, what was she doing in certain things? Because I felt like when I first started TikTok too, because, you know, with me getting fired, this person was super like offensive towards me. Yeah. Came for me for my looks and like, what are you, a he, she? What are you? Like, it was just horrible, right? And so the beginning of it was a lot of hate. And it sucked because like on certain ones I was really sensitive to it, where I was like, you don't have to be on here. Like, if you don't like me, if you don't like the way I dress, like, why are you on here? Right? And so I took it really hard, but then I started like looking at that, like Jenny didn't care. Like, and if you were going to say something to her, like say to her face, you know? And so that's something that I would love to do. Like have a little bit of classic, like Juan Gabriel style, but then also have like saquen el tequila and like, let's get
you're
like
fun.
Yeah, so I like love that type of style where you can be a little bit desmadrosa, a little bit classy, and
just don't put yourself in a box.
No, I like doing everything.
Don't put yourself in a box. You have a free open space. I'm gonna pray, and I hope many more opportunities come for you.
Hopefully,
you know,
hopefully.
Your voice deserves it. I'm a huge advocate for, you know, women and LGBTQ and singing and all that stuff. Like, I believe in your dream and your vision. I don't know. I feel like what else would be cool?
I don't know. Cheekies?
Maybe Cheekies.
Cheekies. Hey, girl.
You know what? Was I the one that told her, or did I send it to you, or who sent her the one when she came up with the idea for the tour? She knows damn well. I told you I was gonna do it, and I think I did. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, what if like you taught like, what if you did teaching classes for people?
I personally learned by ear, so
by ear then.
I don't know.
Either way, something cool. I don't know. I just keep
let me know. Because even with Johnny, like he's seen some of my covers, and I think one time he did comment. He's like, I want to do a song with you. And so I'm like looking forward to it, where I'm like, Johnny, a ver cuando. But I also like don't like pressuring people. I say that to people all the time. Like people will be like, oh well, why didn't they do this, why didn't they do that? It's like they have lives, and they didn't promise anything. They don't have to. And even if they just left a comment, like, be happy with that. Like, you can't really,
I appreciate
you can't
your aspect on that. Thank you.
Yeah, because I say it all the time. Like, even most recently, I've done another video where like, are they gonna invite you? Are they gonna invite you? Where it's like, but they're going through stuff too. Like, people are people. They're still regular. Just porque mucha gente los conoce, it doesn't mean that they have to respond to you right away, or they have to do it in that instant. And I don't know, I feel like you guys have done so much for me already that like I'm grateful for whatever.
Thank you.
So yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming, and it was such an honor having you here.
Thanks.
What is your socials? Please share so people can find you. Mainly TikTok, right?
Mainly TikTok is Miriam_Izzle.
Okay.
And then you can find me on Instagram under Miriam_Izzle as well. I believe YouTube under Miriam Lopez.
Okay.
Just be on the lookout for that, because I haven't posted anything recently.
That's
but
fine.
I want to get on there.
We're grieving out here, guys.
Yeah.
Okay?
It
takes time.
We're taking care.
No, just kidding. No, but thank you again so much. I appreciate it, and I wish you the best and every aspect, and that I know you're gonna change the world in some very specific way, and it's gonna be the Miriam way.
Yes.
Your way.
Yes.
I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next Tuesday.
Overcomfort Podcast is a production of iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network.